Chili crisp is a condiment consisting of oil infused with peppers and other flavors, often crispy, crunchy ingredients. It is also sometimes called chili crunch, chili oil, and chili sauce. We're gonna today focus on the first one, chili crunch. I'm temporarily using a different cardboard because I'm not home right now. So today's scandal, as you can see here, is chili related. That doesn't look like chili at all. Does it even pick up on the camera, or is the pen too small? So this whole story is about celebrity chef David Chang. Trademark Bully. Momofuku turns up heat on others selling chili crunch. Momofuku is David Chang's brand. As we can see, the chili crunch, the Momofuku chili crunch, is blasted on the main page of the website. On top of every other product is the chili crunch. This is the creme de la crunch of the Momofuku website. You scroll down, you see the chili crunch over here. This spicy crunchy oil is our go-to way of adding a flash of heat and texture to our favorite dishes. To be fair, that looks good. And I've seen stuff like this. I've seen chili crunch-esque things in various restaurants. Before we go into this, I think that's important to acknowledge. That's a thing that I've seen, right? It feels like a pretty basic blend of ingredients. And a pretty basic name for it, right? It's kind of intuitive. It's a chili with a crunch. David Chang is the chef and founder of Momofuku, called one of the most influential people of the 21st century. He created the chili crunch, everybody. So this started happening about a month ago. David Chang's food empire was sending cease and desist letters to various restaurant companies, small brands that were selling their own chili crunch. David Chang's food empire is sending cease and desists in what some say is an effort to dominate the spicy condiments market. Oh my god. Across the US, a crunchy, crispy oil is being drizzled over dumplings, noodles, eggs. I love the way they start articles sometimes, you know? A little story. Once, an almost secret sauce, this deep red condiment made with bits of dried chilies, crispy fried garlic, and often with sesame seeds and Szechuan pepper, has its roots in China. Now dozens of brands produce versions as this umami bomb goes mainstream. Oh my god. So as it says here, the company has sent cease and desist letters to companies using the term chili crunch, specifically the term chili crunch, to describe the recipe that we've just seen, and chili crunch on their condiment tables, and has tried to trademark chili crunch with a US Patent and Trademark Office. What the fuck? What are we talking about over here? Fried garlic and like chili? It's a crunchy chili sauce. Oh, what else do you want to call it besides chili crunch? You didn't think of some revolutionary name over here. Michelle Tu, founder of the Malaysian food brand Homaya, is one of the letter recipients. It states that Momofuku is the owner of all the trademark rights for chili crunch and chili crunch, and that her product, her own chili crunch, is a trademark infringement. Tu said that her chili crunch is based on her Malaysian family's recipe where she grew up, and the letter said that she had 90 days to cease the use of the chili crunch trademark. The article lists so many companies that were sent this letter, every single one that used the word crunch when describing the chili. Essentially, if you chose to call it a chili crunch instead of crisp crunch or chili crisp crunch doesn't make any sort of sense. But if they decide to call it a chili crisp, they're fine. They're okay. But if they, God forbid, decided to use a synonym for crisp, then they're fucked. Then David Chang is gonna come over and burn their business into a crunch. Seattle-based Mila specializes in soup dumplings and also received a Momofuku cease and desist letter. Caleb Wang, who grew up between Chicago and Shanghai, recently revamped their line of sauces with his co-owner and wife. They added a larger portion of crispy, crunchy fried garlic to their previous recipe, giving an extra crunch. Oh no, they shouldn't have done it. And they named it Mila's Chili Crunch. Oh no. That's it. You're gonna turn into a chili crunch now. So there's been a lot of TikToks talking about it. I'm pretty sure I found about this from this person, Etch-a-Sketch on TikTok. Thank you, Etch-a-Sketch.
You know what really pisses me off about David Chang sending cease and desist letters to other chili crunch companies like Hamaya and Mila is that as an Asian American celebrity chef who has built his whole empire based off Asian culture for products and TV shows, who will use the Asian community reaching out to Asian content creators when your new show drops to help promote your TV show, whose Momofuku brand of consumer products just alone in 2023 alone hit $50 million in sales.
I mean, it's crazy. The guy is making so much money. He's so successful. Why the f even go after this? Chili crunch? Are you kidding me over here? Such a basic combination of words. And like this guy says, to then go back and trample over other businesses who've like dared to use that name. Insane. I know what chili crunch is. I don't know what a David Chang is. To be fair, yes. I don't know a lot of celebrity chefs in general, so yeah, I knew what chili crunch is before I knew who this guy is. Isn't chili crisp a thing way before Momofuku? Like, how can he do this? It's like Heinz saying that nobody else can call their product ketchup. Well, I guess the thing here, and we're gonna see, he responded to all of this, so we're gonna see what he has to say. But what he's attempting to do is specifically copyright the crunch aspect of that word, not just chili crisp. It's what successful business people do. Remove the ladder that they use to make it, so it solidifies their position in the market. Yeah, I mean, beautifully put. To describe receiving the letter as a punch in the gut, Momofuku's Chang, who's of Korean descent, has helped push Asian food forward into the mainstream. She said, if Kraft Heinz hit me up with a cease and desist, it would have been so distressing. But the fact that it was Momofuku makes me feel really sad. So what is David Chang really saying here? What's the proof for this brand name's originality? The proof Momofuku gives for its chili crunch distinctiveness and fame, thus its common law rights, is quantified by the product's popularity, media coverage, and Amazon reviews, and its average 4.7 star reviews on its website. Doesn't even fucking say if they came up with that name. It just feels like such a clear attempt to barge in using your TV fame to trample over smaller businesses. If I saw a guy from like a small town selling a product called lettuce with mayo, I don't know, that's the first thing I could come up with. If I saw a guy selling that on the side of the street, and then I, because I have some small internet fame, decided to sell my own famous lettuce with mayo, could I then sue that first guy who sold it earlier? The old famous lettuce with mayo seller? Mr. Hunch McKruger? That would be horrible. I would be devastating his business. I may be evil. I may be evil Pinely, but I would never do that to Hunch. If that's the name that I gave him, I would never do that to him. Yeah, I don't know a lot about David Chang, but it seems like people don't, a lot of people don't really like him. Replies under this Reddit post talk about how he's genuinely insufferable. I watched the series he did a few years ago and it left a really bad taste in my mouth. I guess the chili crunch must have been expired. That's a joke. I think Chang is definitely talented, but he's so thoroughly thrown himself into a sort of forced identity as an Asian food authority that feels more put on than earned or experienced. And that, coupled with the fact that the dude is constantly huffing his own fumes, really soared him for me over a pretty short period of time. Okay, this video by Eat Mila does a crunch comparison. Let's see which one is crunchier.
You heard the CCO. Let's see which one's crunchier. Let's try Momofuku's. We're just gonna go for it.
Is this crunchy? Is this crunchy enough? I can hear some crunch through the DJI lapel mic.
Did anyone hear crunch in that? Now let's try Mila.
I did hear some crunch in that, to be fair. Mila, one of the brands getting sued right now. Well, not sued, they got a cease and desist letter. Whoa, okay. I heard crunch earlier, but this is some crazy crunch over here. Just like she's eating cereal, that's so crunchy. Okay, enough. I can't. If you've watched me for long enough, you'd know that I really struggle with ASMR-y type sounds. I cannot listen to the consumption of this chili crunch any longer. The other one was crunchier. I don't need to keep listening to this, please. So there is Etch-a-Sketch, not the toy, but the TikToker, gave us a bit of an update.
David Chang announced that he's no longer going to be enforcing the chili crunch trademark.
Woo! He's not doing that anymore.
There's one point that I really want to talk about. So at one point, David Chang talks about how he ate salsa matcha, which originated in Mexico for the first time in Copenhagen, Denmark, and that the version that he ate for the first time also had soy sauce in it, which made him come to the realization.
And I was like, oh, that's just such an interesting merger. That's when I was like, oh, wait a second, things can...
That's when I was like, oh, wait a second, I should copyright this person that just made this for me. Oh, wait a second, I should sue this guy.
He used American bacon to make it their own.
It was going to be something that was our story to tell.
And that when he was coming up with the chili crunch, how he didn't want to call it chili crisp because it was already inherently associated with Lao Gan Ma, which was...
He didn't want to call it a chili crisp because this other company already had it, and he felt like if, like he'd have a harder time suing them.
We did not want to make a facsimile of things that are out there. We did not want to make something that was, a copy of anything.
How's that? What is he talking about? Crunch is the same as crisp. Am I losing my mind? Crunch is the same as crisp. Both of them are, I'd say, onomatopoeias. They're both onomatopoeias. Come on, you're gonna want an onomatopoeia of this if you're gonna try and tell me that crisp and crunch are wildly different words. I'm not gonna punch anyone. I'm not a violent guy, but I will do a bit of this to make you think that I'm about to do a punch. Such a funny way of starting this. After community backlash, celeb chef David Chang will no longer enforce chili crunch trademark. Did you not expect backlash? Or did you think that you were doing something nice to people? I was really trying to help these folks out when I gave them a cease and desist, but I guess the community gave me some backlash for that when I tried to sue these people. The past week, we have heard the feedback from our community and now understand that maybe we shouldn't have sued people. Sorry, I don't want to misrepresent this person's words. They've learned from the community that the term chili crunch carries broader meaning for many. We have no interest in owning a culture's terminology, and we will not be enforcing the trademark going forward. You did have an interest in doing that before everyone started talking about it. Before like a big article was made about it and people started talking about it on TikTok, you did, I'm pretty sure you did have some interest in it. The person we read about earlier told CBC she was pleased to hear of the company's decision to stop enforcing the trademark, but she disagrees with its choice to continue owning it and instead urged it to retire it completely. Yeah, it just kind of gives a path for them to kind of try and just do that later again. Well, guys, if there's one thing we know for certain is that the bite into this chili crunch is gonna leave a mark. I don't know, articles always end what they do with like a cool sentence like that, and I was kind of trying to do that, so didn't really work. Like and subscribe right now, or you will receive a cease and desist letter from me.